and he will be met by the Kaiser defense. Gain of about 1.5 yards.
The little read option didn't really fool anybody, I don't think, on Kaiser's defense. They pretty much all stayed right where they were supposed to be, and yeah, Newsom might not be selling the fake too much, and looks like maybe the motion guy would have got a little bit more yardage than he did if he had taken that ball.
And quick little bubble screen over. And he is pushed back. That's Moomaw.
They might go back and look at that play a little bit. The bubble screen was set up. Moomaw was where he was supposed to be, but number, I can't see who it was, but was supposed to be out there lead blocking, and he was standing behind Moomaw when he caught the ball, so he wasn't up in front of him to do any blocks.
So now at about 4th and 8, after the loss on the bubble screen, Petersburg is going to be punting. Going to motion Moomaw across the alignment. Kick is up, and it will be collected by Hunter Van Pelt. Makes a move, make a couple men miss, and then is brought down around the 20.
Little risky catch there. I think the punt was going a little quicker than he anticipated. It was had some zip on it. He kind of caught it, up on the side. Don't want to let that go through his hand. That would have been disastrous right there.
Kaiser will start with possession at the 14-yard line. Gavin Root will line up under center. Brings a motion man across, hands it up to Dre Allen. Lowers the shoulder and gains about 5 on the play.
He's good for like 3 or 4 yards after initial contact pretty much anytime he touches that ball, regardless of where he gets hit.
Root back under center. Zion Powell comes across the alignment. Double handoff. Zion Powell spins out of a tackle. They keep a hold of him, though. Looks like he will have enough for the first down on the play.
Yeah, good. That inside reverse is a really tight, running out of almost a wing T look there. That's a really tight, quick misdirection.
Hand off Sammy Bradfield, and he will be slung down after a gain of 1.
Like tripped up by Wyatt Arball.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the old counter crisscross, I believe is what that play is called.
Yeah.
It's been a couple years since I've looked at the playbook. So.
Right.
And timeout will be called. While we have a quick moment, let's thank our first quarter sponsor, Coldwell Banker and Hometown Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home, Coldwell Banker can help you today. I'll say the housing market's doing pretty good. Might be a good time to go buy a house.
Yeah, you're right, and people have a little extra time that they can dedicate to fixing up a house and maybe buying a house and doing some remodeling to it or something like that. You might as well take a look and see what's out there.
Hey, you watch enough HGTV, you can fix anything.
That's right. That's right.
As Petersburg's defense makes their way back out onto the field.
They got some big guys out there. 53 Chevy Brown, 6'3", 285. And we got 235, 225. We got some beef on the line there for Petersburg on their defensive line.
Gavru will be back. Going to roll out to his right side. Throw to Powell underneath, who will get thrown down on the play by number 22, Peyton Day. Gain of 8.
Really nicely designed, well-designed play. A couple of options for Root to pick and throw it to.
Hand off to Dre Allen, and he is met in the backfield. They blew that up the second the handoff was made.
That's the second time that Wyatt Arball has been in the backfield. Last time he tripped up Dre and just got underneath of his leg. And this time he met him in the backfield. So Arball's having a pretty good game there from looks like his defensive end position.
Loss of 2 on the play will bring Kaiser to make a decision here. And it looks like they're going to bring out the punt team. Zion Powell, not only the speedster on the offense, but he's also the iron leg, as he will be taking the punting duties. Snap is back, kick is up. A good deep kick by Powell. That's number 26, Jacob Perez, on the return, and he will be bottled up around the 37-yard line.
The only person not in on that tackle was Zion. That was because he kicked the ball.
Now Petersburg offense will take over here.
Traded a couple touchdowns, traded a couple punts. See who's going to break that cycle here and try to get back on top. Kaiser's got to be alert for that big play.
Newsom back with 5 wide. Brings one man in motion. Going to fake the handoff. He's going to roll out to his right side. And he will gain a couple on the quarterback keeper.
Tackle by Seth Healy.
Seth Healy on the wrap-up.
Seth Healy was a victim of bouncing off of a tackle. That time he was not going to bounce off and miss a tackle. He squared up and took Newsom down as soon as he hit him.
Newsom will be back with 3 receivers out to his left side. One back in the backfield with him. Snap will back, he will hand it off. And that is number 24, Montana Sindeldecker. Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, falling forward there.
Yeah, I think it's something that Kaiser's got to keep being aware of. We saw them get burned by that a little bit last week, and they're doing a pretty good job at bottling up the receivers, but they can't forget about the middle and the running back.
First down for Petersburg. Handoff off the middle to Sindeldecker. He's bouncing off Kaiser defenders.
He runs slippery, doesn't he?
He runs behind his shoulder pads really well, too. Yeah. I mean, first contact that he's always making with the defender is going to be that shoulder pad right into their chest.
Right. I was a little, Sindeldecker wasn't exactly sure what side of the quarterback he was supposed to be on that time, and moved him to the other side and then gave him the ball. I think the defense was a little ready for that.
Gain of 2 on the play. Newsom will keep it. Throw it out to Mumaw, who has enough for the first down before finally being brought down on the play.
Same play we saw earlier, Mumaw caught and had about a 40-yard reception before their touchdown earlier in the quarter. Just out there in the dead zone out there.
Mumaw walking with a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, he got a little shook up on the kickoff after the Kaiser touchdown, hurt his ankle a little bit.
Newsom's going to keep it, and he'll be wrapped up and then dropped. 22 Parker Anderson coming in to clean that one up there at the end.
Newsom has run the ball a couple of times, and I think that's the first time I've really seen him run like he really had somewhere to be, He ran hard, got a 7-yard gain out of that.
4 receivers out wide. Fake the handoff, he's going to roll out to his right, and then another receiver left open out there. That is Jacob Landis, who is then dropped. Caden Youngblood.
Yeah, Kaiser's, they're keeping the receivers in front of them. Unfortunately, two defenders went with the deep man that time, and Landis was able to just sort of sit there and let them run past him, and he's been wide open. So that side and that same zone, same area, has been a successful place for the pass.
Want to give a big thank you again to our first quarter sponsor for tonight's final home game of Kaiser Golden Tornado football, Coldwell Banker and Hometown Realty. Thank you for being a part of everything we've done this season and for being our first quarter sponsor throughout.
Yeah, big props to our sponsors tonight, and especially Coldwell Banker for taking care of our first quarter.
So Kaiser having to try to figure things out here a little bit. They're letting receivers get left open underneath. Moomaw finding a little bit of space there. Landis then there here at the end. Nobody within a 5-yard radius of them.
Right. Yeah, and I think they're concerned about Moomaw going deep. Like I said, that time they just the safety went with Moomaw as he went on a deep route, and one of the cornerbacks or linebackers that were out there in coverage sort of drifted back with him, and that allowed Landis to be just sort of there all by himself.
As the two teams make their way back out after the timeout. Newsom remaining in shotgun. Single back to his left side. Straight drop back. He's going to try and wind it up and throw it deep here, and kind of ducked it there towards the middle of the field.
The ball almost hit Sammy Bradfield in the right shoulder pad. He didn't realize that had been thrown. I think he lost his receiver and was kind of looking around to find him and didn't realize the ball was directly behind him.
Number 26, Jacob Perez, trying to ask for a pass interference call in there, but was not rewarded. Newsom will take the snap and hand it off to the outside. He has a little bit of space. He's going to break free, and he is in for the touchdown for the Vikings. Number 22, Peyton Day.
Yeah, that was just a case of the secondary staying in coverage a little bit too long and not picking up on the handoff soon enough. Then we got a flag there coming out. Someone must have said or did something they shouldn't have done out there after that touchdown.
A little extracurricular activities out here.
Yeah. I think it was an unsportsmanlike.
Call will be against the Golden Tornado.
We'll be kicking off from inside Kaiser territory after this point.
Petersburg lining up for the two-point conversion. Runs the option. And it will be very close. The referee will say no good on the far sideline.
Yeah, Kaiser was able to string that out just enough.
So that touchdown play, it was a read option for the quarterback. He decided to give it to the back, who then just split the defenders.
Yeah. You can see Healy came in from the outside. He was out there, with his receiver defending him, and he didn't check back in quick enough to really see that it was a handoff. And by the time he checked, Day was already running past him.
Day split right down in between Sammy Bradfield and Seth Healy there as he marched to the end zone. With 1:07 left here in the first, Petersburg is up 12-7 against the Golden Tornado.
Yeah, really just changed the color of the jerseys on the other side, and we're seeing a very similar scenario that we saw last week, where we were trading touchdowns, traded touchdowns, traded punts, and now we have a Petersburg touchdown. So Kaiser's got to stick with them and come right back and trade a touchdown too.
While we got a moment, let's take a word from one of our sponsors.
Buying an automobile isn't supposed to be hard. Hi, I'm Fred Timbrook Jr., and at Timbrook Automotive, we make car buying easy. When you buy from us, you can expect your experience to be transparent and stress-free. For your convenience, we have locations in Cumberland, Oakland, and Kaiser, which means you can get the finest cars at the lowest prices close to home. Visit us today at any of our locations to experience the Timbrook difference or shop online at timbrook.com.
Thank you to the Timbrook Automotive Group for being a sponsor of Kaiser Golden Tornado football. As we line up for our first People's Community Federal Credit Union kickoff.
Kicking off from inside.
And it will go to the end zone and be waved off. Kaiser will start with possession at the 20-yard line.
We haven't seen the what do you call it, the jet pass that we saw last week that was really successful for Sammy Bradfield.
Hand off to the motion man. That'll be Van Pelt. Makes a defender miss, and there are flags down on the play.
We're going to get a hold on the right tackle coming out.
Hold on the Golden Tornado will back them up 5.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily something you want to do when you're inside your own 20 and back yourself up that far. But you know that Kaiser hasn't really been having too much trouble with the holds and those kind of penalties, and you know you don't want to see them get into that now, but it could just be because Petersburg has got a little bit more pressure coming in on them.
Petersburg running a 4-down line.
There it is.
Root's going to drop back. He's going to hit Sammy Bradfield, but it will fall incomplete.
There's that jet pass that we were just talking about, and I tell you what, Root would probably like to throw that one again. He took a little bit off of that throw.
If he had a little bit more behind it, Sammy Bradfield would still be running into the end zone.
He
underthrown just a little bit.
Wide open, yeah.
Root back in shotgun once again. Delayed handoff to Dre Allen will go nowhere. Will be backed up about 5 yards.
The Petersburg line has just been kind of having their way with Kaiser, pushing them around out there and getting in good penetration. That's the 3rd time that Dre Allen's been hit behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd time he has lost yards.
Petersburg's D-line is bringing the heat as Kaiser's backed up on their own goal line.
Root changing the play.
Straight drop back, thrown out to Emmerich. Spins out of a tackle and will gain a couple.
I say the Vikings are playing some very inspired defense right now. They're challenging Kaiser to stick with their open playbook, but they're getting so much pressure on the quarterback, which we haven't seen all year.
So at the end of the first quarter, Petersburg is leading Kaiser 12-7, and Kaiser's going to be forced to punt here on 4th and 27. Well, we got a moment here for our quarter break. Let's take a word from one of our sponsors.
Determining whether you need emergency care or not requires special training. The next time you visit an urgent care, ask if your doctor is board certified in emergency medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rana Matthias Monceau. I'm board certified in emergency medicine, and I'm trained to recognize when a condition may require more than just an urgent care evaluation. I believe in treating each patient individually, not just as another number. Health Matters Urgent Care. Better medicine, exceptional care. Barton Boulevard, next to the Bel Air Plaza.
Thank you, Health Matters Urgent Care, for being a sponsor of Kaiser High Golden Tornado football. As the Kaiser offense will come out on 4th down, prepare to punt from their own end zone. The
precarious position to be in anytime you're punting from inside the 10-yard line.
Jacob Perez back to receive the kick. Snap goes back to Zion Powell. Kick is up.
And that's what Kaiser needed out of that. Gonna get a roughing the kicker call.
One of the rushmen for Petersburg plows into Zion Powell, gets the rough in the punter call.
Yeah, is there a roughing plus running into in high school, or is it all roughing?
I am not sure. The referee's making the determination on the call.
If they're having to talk about it, it must be running into the kicker. So running into the kicker is a 5-yard penalty and not an automatic first down. So Kaiser really didn't need to move it out to the 15 and kick it again and risk another bad snap or something like that, or a good
possible return.
Yeah. So they've got him, back in the Vikings are in their own territory. So Kaiser's content to go ahead and that was a good punt. They're all the way back at the 44. 52-yard punt.
Just about. Back in shotgun is Newsom. Handoff going to be a reverse. And he's going to be throwing it deep to Mumau. And the ball will fall incomplete.
Bradfield is going to thank the turf for helping him out a little bit on that one. Initially it made him stumble, but also Mumau got turned around a little bit and lost his footing as well. So dodged a bullet there. It was an interesting, very long developing play.
Hey, I told you, man, we're getting close to Halloween. There was going to be some tricks out here tonight.
That's right, you did.
Going with the wide receiver reverse pass. Newsom back with 4 receivers out wide. He's going to hand off to Day up the middle, who will gain about 3. Dre Allen on the tackle.
Hey, Dre's, normally he's on defense tired because he's running so much, but he's getting pushed around and knocked around a little bit when he's running the ball on offense. He's having to play real extra hard.
Newsom back, 3 receivers to his right side. He's going to roll right. And it will be just out of the fingertips of Seth Healy. Almost intercepted on the play.
I think Seth Healy just started saying, I wish I was a little bit taller, because he would have had that if he had about maybe 2 more inches of height on there.
So 4th and 7.
Kaiser did what they needed to do. They got themselves out of that deep hole and forced Petersburg to punt after a 3 and out.
Newsom, the quarterback, also the punter for Petersburg.
It's going to be a place where a fake punt could be run now.
Bring Mumau in motion. Snap is back, and he's going to keep it. Wide open receiver who's going to catch it. Bounces off of a tackle and finally brought down. And the Nostradamus-like mentality of Matt Shipway comes to fruition again.
And, I could say that anytime there's a punt happening in between the 40s in a tightly contested game at this level, you don't risk a whole lot if you don't get the first down and you're still at midfield.
So Newsom back in shotgun. He's going to keep it. He's going to drop the shoulder, run into a couple Kaiser defenders before being brought down.
Newsom on the keeper. Whole host of goals for Neil.
The Kaiser's
about 7.
Sorry. Kaiser defense needs to kind of There's the fake punt, and good grab by the big tight end there. At least he built like a tight end.
Montana Single-Decker coming out of that H-back spot on the punt. Newsom looking over to the sideline for a call.
Ran out of time.
And we'll have a timeout call for Petersburg.
Got some scores from around the area flashing up there.
Frankfurt beating North Marion 22-7. Washington beating Jefferson 21-8. East Fairmont up on Hampshire 7-0. Berkeley Springs and East Fairmont tied at 0 in the first. I want to remind everyone that our second quarter of tonight's matchup is brought to you by the fine people at Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den. Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den has banners all over Kaiser High School. They help so much out with the Booster Club and everything here at the school. So big thank you to Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den for being a sponsor of not only us, but for Kaiser High School athletics. I want to remind people that you can buy 2020 football downloads. 100% of the proceeds on the sales go directly to the Kaiser High School Athletic Booster Association. Go to www.alleganymedia.com/Kaiser if you want to purchase games today.
It's a cool deal, nice digital downloads.
Petersburg offense back out on a 2nd and 2. Snap back handoff will be to Day to the outside, who will get enough for the first down. He's bouncing it and will finally be brought down.
Tackled by Jake Bonner.
Jake Bonner on the tackle.
It's good blocking outside on the perimeter for Petersburg. Benny Oates got kind of pancaked out there, freed up Day to go ahead and pick up some significant yardage.
Newsom will hand it off to Day once again up the middle. Brought down by Dre Allen.
Got some laundry on the field out there. Generally in the area where they call hold. Yep.
Holding against Petersburg.
And the hold will back Petersburg up. Petersburg now setting up shop here at the 21-yard line.
1st and 19.
1st and 19. Newsom's going to keep it. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw it deep to the end zone. And it is just out of the fingertips of William Van Meter.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was going to sail a little long, but Van Meter's right there on the end line and
played it almost like a rebound.
Yeah.
Petersburg with 3 receivers out.
Kaiser defense is kind of shifting around. They're overloaded over here on the left side. See if there's a blitz from the left side coming in.
And the shovel pass goes nowhere.
Montana Single-Decker on the shovel pass.
Single-Decker took the shovel and was met immediately by the blitz off the left side. So now we're looking at a 3rd down. 3rd and 22. Newsom will keep. He's going to roll out right. He's looking backside. There's an open receiver. He's hit, but he will slide off the contact. He gets off another one. He will take it into the end zone.
Wrap. Doesn't matter how hard you hit the guy. If you don't wrap him up, he's going to roll right off of you and keep running. And that's something we saw a little bit last week against a very similar type team. And, these guys that are here running the spread offense are good athletes. You can't just run into them and expect them to fall down.
Peyton Day bouncing off 2 would-be tackles and takes it into the end zone, bringing Petersburg's lead up. Kick is down, and it is good. So Petersburg extending their lead out now, up 19-7 against the Golden Tornado. So it's just a little halfback, fake handoff to the halfback, and then let him wheel out. And the contact was made.
Just too high.
And Dre Allen attempted to just push him out of bounds, but Peyton Day would not be denied.
Yeah, I think Dre thought he was a little bit closer to the sideline and could just give him a shove, and he only moved him over about a half yard, but he needed to move him about 1.5 yards to get him out of bounds. And, you got to get it through the kid's head. You've got to stay at waist level and make the tackle.
That touchdown drive by Petersburg is brought to you by the Timbrook Automotive Group. While we got a moment, let's take a word from one of our sponsors. First People's Community Photo Credit Union kickoff. Petersburg will line up for the kick. As they have amassed a 2-score lead here. And quick little pooch kick. Collected on the play by Samuel Hamrick.
That play, that kind of kick can either be really good or be really disastrous, because the up man gets the ball and he's got a little bit of speed. He'll get through the line before your coverage team is there.
Kaiser will now take over the possession at the 41-yard line. Pitch out to Samuel Bradfield, who makes a defender miss. He's going to break it towards the sideline, and he is wrapped up just there towards the end by Wyatt Arbaugh.
A little bit of a different look there from the offense, and trying to just shake something loose and get something started, and then see what they can do.
Bradfield had one man to miss. Arbaugh would not let him go. Pitch out back out the other way to Samuel Bradfield. He's going to bounce this one out wide, and it looks like he's going to have space, and he's going to be taking it to the house.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a holding call against Gabe Ryan, and he's a little bit mad at himself. I think that I think the visual aspect of that hold was aided by the fact that he got pushed down from behind and then fell on the guy he was blocking, and it made it look like he pulled him down to the ground.
So the touchdown run on the pitch out to Bradfield going to be null and void as Kaiser gets backed up. Kaiser, mental mistake, shooting himself in the foot here.
Yeah. They like that pitch.
Pitch out to Bradfield again. Takes the contact and will go down after a decent gain on the play. He's got to be out of breath breaking that run down the sideline and then just getting the handoff
his
immediately
third play.
again.
His third play in a row for him.
Kaiser running a little bit of a double wing action here. Give it to Zion Powell. He's going to cut it back in, but he is wrapped up.
These guys are told, especially when they run that outside type of a play, they're told get north and south as soon as you can. I think Zion could have second-guessed himself and stayed outside and got a little bit more yardage on that one.
We're just going to roll out to his left side. And ball will fall incomplete. Intended for Emmerich.
Looks like he lost his footing on that catch. I don't know if it was thrown behind him and he tried to make an adjustment or he just slipped.
4th and 8.
Definitely 4-down territory for Kaiser. They're not going to kick it here inside the 40. They got to make something happen. They need 8 yards for a first down.
Ball on the 37-yard line. Root's going to roll out to his left side. He's going to keep it. He has a little bit of space, and he will get the first down.
Good block there by Emmerich to free up Root to get about 7 or 8 more yards out of that run. Looked like he was going to get the first down anyway, but that was a little icing on top there to get that seal-off block.
Smart decision by Gavin Root there to tuck it and go and get the first down.
Right.
Handoff to Zion Powell will go nowhere. Wyatt Arbaugh gets in.
A messy handoff there, and I don't know if it was bobbled on the exchange or... Again, Petersburg getting good penetration in there and just causing enough of a ruckus in the backfield to change the running routes.
Gavin Root back in shotgun. And flags down.
Somebody moved on the line.
And they're going to give it a procedure call against Kaiser.
But I think the guard had his hand down, then picked his hand up to adjust his split. You can't do that once your hand's down.
2nd and 20 now. Rolling out left. He's going to throw it, and it bounces off the shoulder of the corner.
Yeah. He couldn't see over the defender. I think the defender just, he wasn't face guarding him, but he was making a big enough wall that he couldn't see the ball until too late. Face mask call. I think when Root threw, watch when right after Root. Oh, this is the hold. If you can see, Gabe Ryan was engaged with the runner and with the
kind of rolled up onto his back there. And
yeah, when he got pushed down, it made it look like he tackled him. So, but when Root threw this ball, I think he got hit in the face and his face mask got grabbed because he was getting hit as he let the ball go.
So we'll move them up a little bit. Quick screen out to Zion Powell. He's going to bounce it up the middle. He's going to cut back outside wide. He's going to take a little bit of contact, and he will be brought down around the 3-yard line. So the quick screen to Powell.
And that's what we've seen from Powell this year is, when he's really running hard, he is a load to bring down out there. He doesn't look that big, but he is strong.
And Root will decide to keep it. And we got a referee calling for a touchdown. Petersburg defenders kind of looking like they thought the play was dead.
Yeah, Root ran across the line and just kind of stood there and turned around like,
did this happen?
I'm in the end zone, guys. What's going on?
I don't know if maybe someone in the stands blew a whistle or something and Petersburg thought it was a dead ball, but Root decided to take it into the house anyway. The touchdown will inch Kaiser a little bit closer. Seth Ernest's kick is up and good. With the kick, Kaiser inching closer against Petersburg. Petersburg still up though, 19-14.
Yeah, you can see Root decides to get in across the line here, and he gets in
there
and
jogging.
Stands around and looks at everyone like, hey.
So we had a little bit of a confusion there on that touchdown, but nonetheless, Gavin Root takes it into the house, brings Kaiser back within a 1-score game. Now it's up to the Kaiser defense to try to get a stop here. That's going to be the hard part, it seems, because they've been moving down the field pretty efficiently on them.
Yeah, Kaiser has made a couple of nice stops. They got burned by the fake punt, of course, but they've made a couple stops and hadn't been able to capitalize. This time, they shot themselves in the foot, made it a little bit harder than it needed to be to get down there by the holding penalties and the setbacks. But they need to build on this and keep the defense rolling.
Also want to thank one of our sponsors, the First Baptist Church of Burlington. Pastor Tom Coldwell holds services at 9 a.m. You can watch on Facebook or you can listen live on 107.1 FM. Pastor Coldwell, such a good dude, man. He coached me in church league basketball years ago.
Yeah.
Such a good dude, good family. I graduated with one of his sons. So big thank you to First Baptist Church of Burlington for being a sponsor this season. As we get ready to line up for the kickoff here. Seth Ernest lining up. And a quick little swip kick. Ball still loose. And a Viking defender falls down on top of it.
Yeah, the ball did what it was supposed to do at first and took the high snap, or the high bounce, and went over the up man's hands. And fortunately for Petersburg, unfortunately for Kaiser, there was a man right behind him to fall on the ball, and it didn't roll around too much. Last week we saw some really interesting kickoff antics with the onside kicks and the squibs and whatnot.
Newsom back in a pistol formation. Going to hand it off to Day up the middle, who will kind of ride on top of his lead blocker there and gain a couple. Anthony Mealy on the tackle there.
This is the first we've seen the pistol look from Petersburg tonight. They've been pretty much in the spread and or the I formation a couple of times on the goal line, but that's the first pistol look we've seen.
Gain of 5 for the Vikings.
Doesn't look like they'll stick with it.
Handoff will be to Day once again, who will get enough for the first down. Making a good cut, back up inside, grinds it for about an 8-yard gain.
And you gotta hand it to Petersburg. They've done a good job at holding their blocks and creating those lanes for Day. He's been having a pretty productive night here. A productive night for Day. How about that?
Brings a man in motion. They're going to pitch it to the motion man. And he is brought down. Jacob Perez tried to cut it back. Anthony Mealy was waiting.
Good pursuit by Kaiser. It's just making him cut back to the middle of the field and being able to wrap up the tackle that time.
That's been the biggest thing for Kaiser tonight, is just wrapping up on the tackles.
Right.
They're getting contact. They just got to get the hands around. And fake to the motion man. Newsom will keep it and will gain about 3 on the carry. Third and 3 now for this Vikings offense. Newsom lining up with an H-back to the right side. He's going to hand it off, and he is pursued from the backside. And that's Chase Evans.
There's been a couple of times where Chase has been following the play and just hasn't been close enough. That time he was able to make the initial contact in the backfield for a no gain.
So decision time. Petersburg deciding to go for it on 4th down here.
To see if they can pull Kaiser off sides, or well, they've only got one timeout left.
Newsom getting his call. Looks like they're trying to make Kaiser jump, but it does not work. Petersburg will take the timeout.
And they're content with using their last timeout with 3.5 minutes in the first half left. Kaiser has stayed disciplined.
And Petersburg deciding to bring the punt team out. Newsom still back. Brings Muma in motion. High snap. Decides to kick this one, and it is a high one.
Went higher than it did long, I think. That was skied that thing.
Newsom skyjacked it. It went up about 35 yards and went out about maybe 15. So with 3:20 here in the second quarter, Kaiser's offense taking over, trying to get the go-ahead score before they go into the half. Pitch out to Sammy Bradfield, and he will gain about 3 on the play.
That was that's the play that sort of got things moving on the last drive for Kaiser. They were able to play off of that one pretty well. That one only went for 4 yards, but at least it got some positive yardage to start the drive out.
Kaiser lining up with 3 receivers.
There it is.
And the jet pass is going to be complete to Sammy Bradfield. He's going to head to the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Golden Tornado.
74 yards, and picking right up where he left off last week with that jet pass is wide open.
We've seen it multiple times last week, and here they hit it again.
When it worked, a good play is a good play is a good play, and that's a very well-designed play, and then they sell the fake, and it's been productive every time.
Seth Ernest lining up for the kick now. It is up and good. So Kaiser swung momentum here. Now take the lead up 21-19 against the Vikings. So now you got the dilemma. Petersburg took the timeout.
Right.
Now they don't have any to try to run this out. Perfect throw here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hit Bradfield right in stride. And he will walk it into the end zone completely untouched.
Yeah, that's a really fun play to watch develop. Obviously we've got a bird's eye view up here, and we can watch it all develop, and we can kind of see it happen as it starts. But when you're down there on the field and Kaiser runs the jet sweep really well, and you see a guy coming in motion, you can't just drop back and assume they're going to throw that ball, because you got to cover the outside on the sweep.
It's gotten to the point now for me, every time I see Root fake that jet motion, I'm immediately looking towards the deep middle of the field,
right?
Because I'm looking for that jet pass to come through there.
They do a good job of disguising it, though. They do it on the odd downs, and do it on second down, and do it after a Bradfield pitch, and then they'll go right back and send him down on a passing route. So it's not being overdone, even though they were successful with running it every time they did it. It's not one of those plays that are so easy to read that it's overdone.
And I mean, they tried running it earlier whenever it fell incomplete, and it was another one. If Root would have put a little bit more behind it, that one would have been gone too.
Right.
Our First People's Community Credit Union kickoff here. As Kaiser lines up to boot it down with 2:39 left in the half. And he will take this one a little deeper. Taken by Perez. Runs into his own blocker. Still finds a little bit of space. And will go down at the 30-yard line.
I'm going to take a quick second to remind folks that second quarter is brought to you by Fox's Pizza Den here in Kaiser.
If you're going to watch some good football, might as well get some good food while you're at it.
That's right.
Use code Kaiser Football Online to save 10% tonight.
Still got a whole second half to go. That's enough for a champ and some potato wedges. JoJo's, I believe they're called, right?
And illegal procedure against Petersburg will back them up here. Handoff will be to Day, who is brought down after a gain of about 5. So now Petersburg has the clock working against him, using that timeout on the last drive. As we roll within 2 minutes here, they have no timeouts to stop the clock for them.
Yeah, they weren't planning on Kaiser. Well, they didn't want him to score at all, but they weren't planning on Kaiser scoring that quickly to think that they would have that time left.
Mumaw's the motion man. Newsom will give it to him out wide. And he will manage to squeak out a couple of yards out on the far sideline.
Kaiser did a really good job of stringing that play out as something that they haven't consistently done for the first half here. And they've allowed Day to get some positive yards out of that. And that time they did a good job of just stringing it all the way to the sideline.
Third and 7. Newsom is back with 3 receivers, brings one man in motion. Drops back, pressure coming. Throws it to Mumaw underneath, who is brought down by Anthony Mealy. Anthony Mealy has been all over tonight.
Yeah, that was Kaiser takes a timeout here. Got an injured player as well, but I think Kaiser took a timeout because they want to preserve the clock and see if they can add some more points. But that was a really good catch, you know. And but Mealy was one-on-one open field and took down the receiver that time.
While we got a moment, want to let everybody know that on November 3rd, Kaiser High and Mineral County Schools are asking Mineral County residents to vote for the school levy once again. The levy provides financial support to community organizations that provide services to our school system, funding for instructional supplies and equipment, benefits and salaries for our school employees, including substitutes and coaches, and 20% of the costs not provided by the state for things like field trips and extracurricular activities and transportation. Please support your kids and our schools by supporting and voting for this levy. It is not a new levy, so there will be no additional cost to taxpayers. Your local schools need your support. Thank you. And while we got some additional time here, let's take a word from one of our sponsors tonight.
Buying an automobile isn't supposed to be hard. Hi, I'm Fred Timbrook Jr., and at Timbrook Automotive, we make car buying easy. When you buy from us, you can expect your experience to be transparent and stress-free. For your convenience, we have locations in Cumberland, Oakland, and Kaiser, which means you can get the finest cars at the lowest prices close to home. Visit us today at any of our locations to experience the Timbrook difference, or shop online at timbrook.com.
And as we get ready to roll back here from this timeout, with 1:37 left, it is 4th and 4 for Petersburg. Looks like they're going to try to line up in a punt formation, but
I don't think they're going to fake this one. Can't go to the well too often.
only one man back for Kaiser to receive the kick. That is Hunter Van Pelt. Man comes in motion. That's William Van Meter. Snap is back for Newsom, and he will kick this one deep. Van Pelt will collect it, and he is met immediately and pushed back by the Petersburg punt team.
It was a really nice kick.
Good concentration by Van Pelt there to collect it as the rush was coming. That's one of the hardest jobs in football, is being a punt returner.
Right. You know you're going to get hit very quickly after catching that ball, so you got to catch it first.
So now Kaiser taking back over. They got one timeout with 1:29 left. Want to run a little bit of a 2-minute offense. Pass completed to Embrick on the rollout. Root rolls it out wide to the left side and hits Damian Emmerich for the toe tap. Good enough for the first down. Root going to roll out to his right this time. And ball will go incomplete.
He led Sammy Bradfield just a little bit too much, and again, when you're running to your right and you're a right-handed quarterback, the ball's going to have a little bit more forward momentum on that. And he led Bradfield just a hair too much, and Bradfield tried to make the catch, but couldn't quite do it.
Root remaining in shotgun, 4 receivers wide. He's going to hand off to Dre Allen. Spins out of a tackle. Keeps running. Bounces out of another. Breaks out of another tackle. He keeps moving, and he is finally wrapped up and brought down after breaking out of about 5 tackles.
Somebody lost a mouthpiece. I think it was Dre when he first did that second spin.
Sound the horn. There's a truck coming through. Dre Allen with the carry. And pass will be completed to Seth Healy.
Excellent clock management with this offense. I mean, Dre did a service there by getting himself out of bounds by breaking about 50 tackles, but, running to the sidelines, passing to the sidelines, excellent.
We're going to roll out to his left. He has a little bit of time. He's going to crank this one deep, and it is out of the reach of Damian Emmerich on that one. Not very often them rollouts does Gavin Root have enough time to reset his feet and wind it up.
He had all day. I think he realized, hey, I can stand here and wing this one down the field.
Threw that ball about 50 yards downfield.
Yeah, he did.
Root remaining in shotgun. Going to roll out to his left again. Ball is tipped up in the air and dropped by Emmerich.
Luckily, it didn't get intercepted. A lot of times you pop a ball up about 10 yards in the air like that. Someone's got time to run over and
get underneath of that.
Yeah.
Emmerich seems a little frustrated with himself for the drop.
See some motion on this one.
They want to fake the handoff.
Well, they ran a little different pattern out of that.
And ball will fall incomplete.
Yeah, I saw him come in motion, and it was an expected pass play, and I watched Bradfield, and he didn't run the pattern that I was waiting for him to run, so it was a little bit different look out of that.
They also had Powell out off the jet motion there.
Yeah.
Take a little bit of an underneath route as well. Kaiser will take their final time out of the half.
This is Dre Allen's run.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You've said several times you liken him to the way Marshawn Lynch runs, and it really is. Low center of gravity and just kind of keeps shaking things off. And
wide base.
Yeah.
I mean, you never see him run with his feet inside tiptoeing. I mean, his feet are always at least shoulder width apart, and he's always chugging them big legs of his forward.
Right.
It's comparable to that of a bulldozer sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't really been able to break out much of on runs tonight like he normally has. Been actually met in the backfield a couple of times.
Now, Petersburg's defense has done a fairly decent job of keeping the inside run, which is where Dre has really had some success, keeping that at bay.
Root going to throw it out, and this time this one is completed. Damian Emmerich, it is completed, but looks like it'll be about 2 yards short of the first down.
Not exactly sure why the clock stopped. Well, I'm not exactly sure why the clock stopped there for the last 10 seconds because it wasn't a first down.
Looks
so
like it's
that
going
was
to
a
be first and 10
turnover on
Petersburg.
downs.
Looked to me like he got possession of that ball around the 25. Looked like he'd have had enough.
I don't know if we can see that one again or not. That's why I was kind of confused at what was.
We'll try to see if we can see that after this next play by Petersburg, just to get an idea of where the alignment should have been. Newsom keeps it, makes one man miss, and is met by the Kaiser linebacking core.
Yeah, Petersburg dodged a bit of a bullet there, and the series didn't get extended.
And Newsom going to roll out. Pressure comes, and he is just going to tuck it and take the sack.
And should do it for the half.
Big Vito Amoruso on the sack. And the clock will run out here in the half. Let's see if we can look at that passing play there that led to the turnover on downs. Because at least from our angle up here, it looked like he had enough from where he made the catch to get the first.
It seemed like a lot of people were sort of confused on what happened there because Kaiser didn't bring their defense in, and Petersburg didn't sub their offense in right away.
So as we get ready to roll in here to the end of the first half, we'll be back with a couple minutes left in the half to go over some statistics. Here's our play here. See, Root throws it, and he catches that ball.
Looked like he caught it on the 25.
Yeah, he caught that ball. I mean, obviously we're at a different angle, so you can't be too sure, but it looks like he catches that ball around the 24-yard line. And then the ref ends up placing it at the 27.
Right, because there is a forward momentum there. It should have been where he first made contact with the ball, not where he was tackled. You can see that official, he marks it right there where he fell. And, no harm, no foul, at least at this point. Nobody scored. And
that's the downside to high school athletics. You don't necessarily have a video instant replay on the field for them like they do in the pros.
Right.
But as we get ready to roll in here into the halftime, we'll look at a couple words from our sponsors. We'll watch the band here, and we'll be back with a couple minutes left to go over some first half statistics. We'll be back after the break.
Please enjoy our musical performance of Wonderland from the Kaiser High School 2020
Give it up for the Kaiser High School marching band.
welcome back here to our halftime report. So from what we pulled up from the statistics from Mr. Vic Clay, Dre Allen has 6 carries for 23 yards. Zion Powell, 5 carries for 21 yards. Sammy Bradfield, 4 carries for 28. Gavin Root, 3 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. And Hunter Van Pelt with 2 carries for 11 yards. Gavin Root is 9 for 12 passing for 164 yards and 2 scores. Receiving for those passes, Bradfield has 2 catches for 86 yards and 2 scores. Damian Emmerich, 4 catches for 36. Zion Powell, 2 catches for 28, and Seth Healy with 1 catch for 14. So totaling stats for the first half, Kaiser has 113 on the ground and 164 through the air.
And, the numbers aren't quite as high as they were last week. Haven't been necessarily connecting on some of the long passes as often. But, again, the balanced offense that Kaiser's been running, balanced and really having more passing yards than running yards is a testament to how well this offense has adapted to that more open style and a little bit more of a creative game plan.
Also some close scores from around the area. Frankfurt leading North Marion 22-13 in the third quarter. Washington up 21-14 against Jefferson Cougars. East Fairmont controlling their game against Hampshire up 20-0.
Yeah, we got some good games in the area.
So what were all of our scoring plays?
So for Kaiser's, they started out with a 6-yard screen pass to Bradfield. That was a pass from Root to Sammy for a 6-yard touchdown. And then we saw Root tuck the ball and run in for a 3-yard touchdown. And then, of course, the big play to end the scoring for the first half for Kaiser was a 74-yard reception for Bradfield and off that jet pass.
All right, so while the teams make their way out to the field, get some stretches in before they start this second half, we'll take a couple words from our sponsors and we'll get back with you.
Determining whether you need emergency care or not requires special training. The next time you visit an urgent care, ask if your doctor is board certified in emergency medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rana Matthias Monceau. I'm board certified in emergency medicine, and I'm trained to recognize when a condition may require more than just an urgent care evaluation. I believe in treating each patient individually, not just as another number. Health Matters Urgent Care. Better medicine, exceptional care. Barton Boulevard, next to the Bel Air Plaza.
Buying an automobile isn't supposed to be hard. Hi, I'm Fred Timbrook Jr., and at Timbrook Automotive, we make car buying easy. When you buy from us, you can expect your experience to be transparent and stress-free. For your convenience, we have locations in Cumberland, Oakland, and Kaiser, which means you can get the finest cars at the lowest prices close to home. Visit us today at any of our locations to experience the Timbrook difference or shop online at timbrook.com.
And we welcome everyone back here as we get ready to roll into the second half. Kaiser over there in their huddle trying to get hyped up for the second half with a 2-point lead over the Petersburg Vikings. both teams, I mean, they did it. What's the saying? They are who we thought they were.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the styles and the play selection and everything has been very similar to what we saw 7 days ago here. The difference is the defenses are having a little bit better success at stopping the big plays. I mean, we've had some big plays, but last week we had a lot of big plays. Today we've only had a couple for each team. And limiting that big play for Kaiser's defense is paramount to really anything else they're doing. Their offense is getting things done. Petersburg's defense was getting excellent penetration earlier on, and they've kind of shut down the middle run game. Dre, he had 6 carries for 24 yards, something like that. Dre's a big part of that, establishing that run. Luckily for Kaiser, especially this year, they've been able to capitalize by going to the pass, and 164 passing yards to 113 rushing yards is evident to how well they've taken to this new style of play.
As they get ready to make their way out, the captains for this second half.
I don't really see. I don't foresee Kaiser changing much on offense. Trying to maybe hold some blocks a little bit better and catch some passes that, there were a couple drop passes that could have possibly been catches, and it's just some little moments of not paying attention or whatever it is, and I think if Kaiser can capitalize on that and not make some of those plays happen. Defensively, they're getting the job done. Bend not break kind of a deal.
Well, the big thing for their defense is they've been able to contain the passing game enough, aside from a couple like that first play of the game where they got probably their biggest chunk of the first half. They've been able to contain the passing game all right, but where they've been getting killed has been the running by Montana Singledecker and Peyton Day.
Yeah, Peyton Day has been having a fantastic evening running off of the edges, and we did see towards the end of the first half, maybe Kaiser made a few adjustments. They were able to start stringing those sweeps and outside runs out and getting Day to the sideline so that he couldn't turn it upfield. But they need to stick with whatever that was, whatever adjustments they made. But they can't overcompensate for that and then start giving up the pass, which they've been able to hold.
So we line up for our kickoff here of the second half. Reminder that our kickoffs are brought to you by First People's Community Federal Credit Union, the official kickoff sponsor of Kaiser High football. As they just kind of pooch it out there towards the sideline.
Looked like it was going to go out of bounds a lot quicker, and it just kind of died right there, and
had to drop on it.
It had to fall on that ball right there. Kaiser, they started going towards the coming under center and doing a pitch to Bradfield to get things started for their last scoring drive. This time they're back in the shotgun now.
And hand off to the motion man is Powell, who will cut it up inside and hit with what looks like a Russian leg sweep.
Yeah, that was interesting there. It's almost like calf ropingers. I mean, had his leg up in the air and swung him around.
Gain of a yard on the play. Rue going to pitch it out wide. Sammy Bradfield drops the shoulder and will make a good gain on the play. Gain of about 8.
They went to it one play later than they did the last time they started off with that. But, that pitch to Bradfield, not be surprised if they do a pitch to Bradfield off the right side this time. It's worked doing the back-to-back thing like that.
And hand off the middle to Dre Allen, who's dragging some defenders with him.
Dragging number 79, Blake Lloyd. He's only 5'10", 275. I don't know about you, but he looks bigger than that to me. He looks like he's put on a little weight since they've printed
the
these
official
out.
weigh-in.
Yeah.
Hand off to Dre. He lowers the shoulder and will get close to another first down. Interior pressure almost got to Root before he could get that handoff.
Right, and although that was closer than what Kaiser would like to see, I think what they've done is they've been able to switch to a much quicker kind of handoff and get Dre moving upfield and sort of run behind the penetration. That time almost didn't work.
They're going to fake the jet to Zion Powell. Root's going to drop back, throw across the middle to Sammy Bradfield, who catches it. First down, Golden Tornado.
Yes, it's kind of like we're watching, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, and some of the best. Fantastic target. It always seems like Sammy's exactly where he needs to be, and Root puts the ball exactly where it needs to go.
Root's going to roll out to the right. He's going to throw it downfield to the end zone, and it will fall incomplete.
Yeah, Bradfield had to turn into a cornerback or a safety that time, and possibly an ill-advised throw by Root there. I think he thought Bradfield was going to break away, and the defender stayed right with him.
Root probably had the space to tuck it and gain at least a couple out of it, but decided to.
He was very close to going across the line of scrimmage.
Back in shotgun again, brings a man in motion. Hand off to the motion man, Van Pelt, who's going to get to the corner and be pushed out of bounds. Minimal gain, maybe 2 on the play.
Yeah, now Petersburg doing what Kaiser was doing.
Mark it no gain. Looks like he stepped out a little early.
Stringing the play out, and the running back runs about 15 yards but doesn't gain anything.
Root going to keep it. He has a little space. He's going to take it to the end zone.
25 yards.
Gavin Root on that fake quarterback power. Fakes that jet and gets a lead blocker in front of him, and he is clear to the house.
It's been an effective play. Root runs like a running back. He doesn't run like a quarterback who also happens to run.
Well, he's got a number like a running back, too.
True.
So a well-executed quarterback power.
All kinds of motion on the line there. I'm not sure. People jumping across and then pointing, and, this is in the NFL. You can't go across the line and come back, so they were drawn off.
So that'll back Kaiser up here. Give Seth Ernest a little bit more difficult of a kick.
In the NFL, if someone comes across the line and gets back and then you jump, but you can't do that there. It almost looked like the Petersburg guy came across the line first.
And the ball is loose. Ernest tries to keep it and has nowhere to go. So the extra point will be no good. You see Root gets a lead block there by Vito Amoruso out in space.
Nice block.
Great execution there.
Quarterback couldn't get the quarterback there. Newsom tried to.
Vito's one of the bigger guys on that line, and for him to be able to get that, that pull and make that block in open space, that's one of the things, at the youth level that you have a hard time with teaching a lineman how to do. They just want to block the man in front of you. So whenever you get up into this high school age, and sometimes you're forced to make a block in the open field like that.
Right.
Vito executing very well there.
There's the one advantage that a lot of our local teams have, our youth league teams have, is that they are consistent at running the guards and pulling the guards and running drills to get those guards out there that are making those downfield blocks.
Let's take a word from one of our sponsors. Yeah, they broke out of the timeout a little early, so we'll just go up here for the line for our first People's Federal Credit Union kickoff. Seth Ernest lines up for the kick. And he will kick it right into the defender.
Oh.
And it is still recovered by Petersburg. Montana Sindeldecker almost broke that one free.
We've had very few uninteresting kickoffs this season, especially these last 2 games. Yeah, that's one way to, get an onside kick is just kick it as hard as you can at the up guy.
Yeah,
and it almost worked.
That poor up man took it right to the teeth. And it looks like we'll have a false start against Petersburg.
Yeah, that kickoff almost went badly for Kaiser, because after the initial up man hit the ball, the second wave was able to pick it up in stride and luckily was tackled.
Handoff will be to Day, who will be wrapped up. Oh, he will break out of the tackle.
Vito's smacking himself in the helmet on that one. He had him and just looked like he had him by the jersey, and it just slipped out of his hands.
They strung Day out wide. Looked like he's going to be brought down for a loss there, but broke out of the arm tackle by Vito and managed to gain a couple. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that was.
Newsom decides to keep it.
Well, he decided to keep it because Day went to about 3 different positions in the backfield there. He was off to his right, then he got behind Newsom like he was going to be in the pistol, and then he went back up to the right and moved up, and Newsom looked towards him, and Day was gone.
Newsom gains about 4. So we're looking at about a 3rd and 4 on the play now. Newsom looking to the sideline to get his play call.
A lot of moving parts, and whenever you do when you look to the sideline for that late call coming in, and Newsom and Day don't seem to be on the same page right now. They're both looking at their armbands and trying to figure out where they are. The last play was a busted play. So I don't know if maybe they made some offensive adjustments and just aren't real clear on.
Yeah, whereas Kaiser gets the majority of their play calls from hand signals and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Petersburg kind of relies on the coach bands on the arm. While we got a moment, let's take a word from one of our sponsors here.
Buying an automobile isn't supposed to be hard. Hi, I'm Fred Timbrook Jr., and at Timbrook Automotive, we make car buying easy. When you buy from us, you can expect your experience to be transparent and stress-free. For your convenience, we have locations in Cumberland, Oakland, and Kaiser, which means you can get the finest cars at the lowest prices close to home. Visit us today at any of our locations to experience the Timbrook difference, or shop online at timbrook.com.
So on 3rd and 4, Newsom brings a man in motion. He's going to hand it to the motion man out wide. That's Perez. Will gain maybe 2 on the play. Not enough for the first.
Perez looked like he had that football on a fishing line there. It was like going on behind him, like he had to pull it back in. Almost lost the handoff.
4th and 2. Petersburg deciding to go for it. Looks like they're going to bring in an I formation with a double back set.
Be risky, be a big place for a play action.
Hand off to Day, and he will have enough for the first.
Like I said, they'll probably just hand it off and give it to Day.
First down, Petersburg.
So now with the first down, Petersburg continuing to march in Kaiser territory. Ball at the 41. The 36-yard line. Ball will be given to Day. They force him back inside and bring him down.
Yeah, much better job at sealing up the middle and not giving Day really anywhere to cut out or in.
Vito Amoruso not letting go of him on that one.
Mumal seems to be really favoring one of his ankles. He was limping a little bit in the first half, and this time he seems like he's limping again.
Quick slant.
Good catch.
And it will be complete to Perez. Kind of bobbled that one. Looks like he came down with it, though.
Yeah, it was thrown significantly behind him, and I don't think he saw it until the last minute, or last second, but he was able to haul it in. And
3rd and 2 now. And here comes the pressure, and he will throw it away.
Might be a grounding call there. Depends on, there was a receiver in the area, but he obviously was throwing it away. Close enough, I guess.
So 4th and 2 now. Newsom had a free rusher, and Chase Evans coming right at him there. Back to the I formation is Petersburg. Hand off today.
It's going to be close.
And it's going to be a close call. We'll see where they line it at. Amoruso is trying to point to the other direction, saying Kaiser ball.
Much nicer spot on that play than there was for the play at the end of the first half for Kaiser on that.
And it looks like we're going to try to get an official measurement here.
Yeah, it's too close to call from this angle.
As we bring the sticks out. And they're going to stretch it out, and it will be short. About a half a yard short. Kaiser will take over. Yeah, here comes Chase Evans on the free rush, forcing Newsom to throw that one away on 3rd down.
Just had a little too much speed. He had him dead to rights there, but again, arm tackle's got to shore those up.
And whistle will be blown. Legal procedure against Kaiser will back them up 5. I tell you, we've seen more penalties on tonight's game than we've seen the past couple weeks.
Yeah, it started out like that, and we talked about it early in the first half, and then it just has not really gotten much better.
Powell comes in motion.
Oh,
Root will hand it off back inside. Sammy Bradfield. Gain about 9 on the play. Bring Kaiser back into a favorable position here on 2nd down. Hand off to Dre Allen, who will take the contact and get the 1st down on the play.
Dre running a little stronger there on that. He got bottled up in the first half and didn't get a whole lot going, and seems like he's running with like a man on a mission right now.
He's trying to wear down the defense. Root going to roll out. He's going to dump it off. And Sammy Bradfield lowers the boom on the defender. Will get the 1st down.
Something you really notice about this Kaiser offense is, different players step up at different times. We called Zion Powell's name a lot earlier in the season, and he's been contained better. Now we were calling Bradfield's name. There's always someone there waiting to make a play.
Quick screen out to Powell. He's going to try to break it towards the sideline. He has a little bit of space. He takes the contact and will get the 1st down.
Nice strong run there by Powell. Turned on the Jets to make the corner. And we talked about that in the first half. Seemed like he was cutting up the field a little too quick. That time he used his speed and got outside and made a good gain. So Roots in shotgun. He's going to take the snap here. Hand it off to Dre Allen.
Dre Allen's going to take the contact and be thrown down. Want to let everyone know that this drive is being brought to you by the Timbrook Automotive Group. Hand off to Dre again.
Not sure what everyone is yelling for there, but something significant.
The crowd is very upset with this one.
And the Kaiser coaches are upset. Gavin Root threw his hands in the air, and I totally missed what everyone was yelling about there. The crowd is very vocal, and the officials are discussing something out there. If we have a replay of the last play that we can even tell what happened. I'm not really sure there. People were not happy with something.
We got three receivers out wide to the right side. Hand off to Dre up the gut.
Wow.
He's going to keep dragging defenders forward.
He drove forward and landed on top of Owen Kitzmiller there, and then Kitzmiller rolled over with the ball in his hands, but Dre patted him on the helmet, said, "Nah, I was already down."
Root going to roll out to the right side, plant his feet, throw to the out man. He breaks the tackle, and he's going to shimmy in for the end zone. Touchdown, Damian Emmerich making the defenders miss.
25 yards on that, and good throw, good catch, and good move. That was a good play.
Coach is hitting him with the chest bump. Emmerich takes the comeback route, breaks off the initial defender, and then manages to shimmy his way in between. Kick is up and good.
There's that play again.
Root plants his feet.
Good move here to stay on his feet and not get knocked down right away.
Emmerich slides off the corner and then whoop! Slips right inside of him. Great play for this Kaiser passing attack. While we got a moment here in between the score break, let's take another word from one of our sponsors tonight. As we line up for our first People's Community Federal Credit Union kickoff. Kaiser stretching a lead out here, up 34-19.
What kind of kick are we going to see here?
So we've seen the Kaiser coaches pretty vocal, upset there as Petersburg's defense was making their way off. And a hard shot there.
Yeah, you can't really speculate on what happened, but the coaches and players and fans were upset about something in one of the plays there in the last drive, and then after the Kaiser touchdown, there was some some words floating across the field between the benches, so it's hard to tell.
Petersburg lining up in a 4 wide. Handoff's going to be to Day, who is then forced back inside and then met by the Kaiser front line.
And I think Kaiser is running on whatever the emotion is that bled over from that previous drive. I think they're trying to use that as some fuel to keep their defense pushing hard against this Vikings offense.
Newsom back in shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. Snap a little low. He's going straight drop back, throwing pressure, and it will fall incomplete. And we got flags coming down.
We're going to see defensive holding.
See what the call is here. Between the crowds and the sidelines, we're getting a little feisty out here tonight.
Well, Whitehat's the only guy that didn't throw his flag, and that's because he's playing behind the quarterback, or watching behind the quarterbacks. So whatever happened, everybody saw it.
And it'll be a call against Kaiser.
And that's truly unfortunate because, A, it gives them the first down, but also, you know, Kaiser had some pressure on the quarterback and actually got in his face and made him. That ball was not going to be caught because he couldn't throw it to where he wanted to throw it.
So we received word on what the issue was with the play that worked everyone up. Petersburg had 12 men on the field, and the referees never called a penalty for it.
Oh, okay.
So handoff will be faked and then thrown deep to a wide open receiver. Touchdown, Jacob Landis.
It's a 38-yard touchdown pass.
Newsom fakes the handoff today and throws it to a wide open receiver. And Jacob Landis just tiptoes it in.
Yeah, Kaiser was running hard on emotion and had what seemed like a good defensive play, get called for that pass interference, and then Petersburg capitalized on it right away.
Kick is up, and it is good. With the kick. See, they bit hard on that handoff, that fake handoff.
And that wasn't Newsom, that was William Van Meter throwing that ball. And I'll tell you why I thought so, and I wanted to see the replay, is because he threw it left-handed. And I thought, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing Newsom throw left-handed. So, yeah, that was, it looked like number 1. Yeah, number 1, William Van Meter threw that ball.
Also want to remind everyone that our third quarter tonight is brought to you by Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den. Why enjoy just some football? We can enjoy some good food too. Use code Kaiser Football online to save 10% on your order tonight. Yeah, apparently they had 12 men on the field, and there was no penalty called on that. That's what Kaiser was up in arms about there.
That's usually not a penalty that gets missed, because I didn't notice anyone running off the field. So there was 12 men in position. That's usually the umpire's job to look ahead and count the number of people in front of him. And apparently he didn't do that. And I think, too, Kaiser ran that play quickly. They snapped the ball quickly, trying to catch them with the 12 men. And
so now with a 8-point game here with 3:25 in the third, Kaiser still maintains the lead. So we line up for our kickoff, brought to you by First People's Community Federal Credit Union.
And Kaiser's in a position here where they need to stay ahead of the game, stay ahead 2 scores. They need to score on this drive here, not give Petersburg any momentum shift at all.
And they decide to kick this one deep. Zion Powell will collect it. And Powell has a little bit of space. He's going to break this one to the 50. to the 40, the 30. They're not going to touch him. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Golden Tornado. I don't see any flags down. That's why you don't kick the Zion Powell.
87 yards. I think he got that around the 13-yard line.
Zion Powell finds the seam and turns on the Jets.
Yeah, you could really see his breakaway speed once he got through that line, and there were two defenders right behind him, but
found about 10 yards of separation by the time he walked into the end zone. So Kaiser with the quick reply to the Petersburg touchdown.
And we were just talking about, Kaiser needs to score on that drive, and what better way to do it than just go ahead and do it on the kickoff. They couldn't find the football, and it was sitting on top of the Kaiser padding on the bottom of the goalpost.
Seth Ernest lines up for the kick. Kick is up and good. So Kaiser stretching out their lead now, up 41-26 with 3:13 in the third. While we got a moment, let's take a word from one of our sponsors for tonight's matchup. Wheelhouse Academy for their continuous sponsorship and our scoreboard integration.
And to the Belt Group for keeping us running with the with powering our production van.
And a quick little pop down to the 30. And the returner is plowing through some Kaiser defenders, refusing to go down.
Austin Berg running that ball.
The senior.
Yeah, that second line, second wave of guys on the kickoff team don't get to run the ball a whole lot and receive it. And when he got it, he took advantage of it and had a pretty good return.
Yeah, I mean, he only got 8 yards from where he caught it, but he made Kaiser defenders fight for it.
Yeah.
Newsom back in shotgun. Handoff today. And he will be brought down after a gain of 3. Caden Youngblood with the wrap up. We got 2nd and 7 now for this Vikings offense. Newsom fakes a handoff. He's rolling out to the left side. And the ball's up in the air, and it is intercepted. Zion Powell comes down with it.
We got a late flag coming out here. Someone said something, but how about Zion Powell going up and just wrestling that ball away? He was like, I'm going to take this, and there were 4 hands on that ball, and then when it ended up, Zion's were the only 2 left. So we had an unsportsmanlike call against Kaiser after the very first touchdown, and now we got a unsportsmanlike call here against Petersburg after the interception. So
Newsom rolled out to his right side, just kind of tossed it up into.
Yeah, he floated that one up a little bit too much, and, you know, Zion Powell could have just gone up and tried to knock it down, but he had his hand on it and had enough of a hand strength to wrestle that ball away from the intended receiver.
So now Gavin Root and the offense will take over. Root keeps it, and he drops the shoulder. Root takes Jacob Landis.
Run strong, like we said. He's got a running back number, but he's a quarterback. But he's a running back at heart.
Root under center now. Brings a man in motion. He's going to hand it off to Dre Allen, who's going to bounce off some defenders. He keeps the legs moving and falls forward.
Ran about 5 yards backwards there, didn't he?
The human pinball, Dre Allen, just bouncing off of guys and just scooting his way backwards for another 5-yard gain afterwards.
Petersburg called a timeout before the snap there.
So here's the interception. Newsom feels the pressure coming, rolls out and has to throw it on the run. It just kind of heaves it.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, he almost completed that one.
Yeah.
But Zion Powell playing strong with the ball and coming down with it.
Was that 26, Jacob Perez?
I believe so. Jacob Perez attempting to come down with it. I want to remind everyone that tonight's game is also sponsored by First Baptist Church of Burlington. Pastor Tom Coldwell and company hold services at 9 a.m. You can watch live on Facebook, or you can listen at 107.1 FM. So the turnover, Kaiser's got a big lead now. They've been able to extend it out a little bit, and now the turnover, they have a chance to even put them up by almost a 3-score game now. So this is almost a put-away drive, essentially.
Yeah,
here late in the third.
Yeah, definitely. They can score going into the fourth quarter up by 3 scores. It puts Petersburg in a much more dire situation where they're going to have to take more shots down the field and things happen like the Zion Powell interception and stuff like that.
Root under center. Going to hand off to Dre Allen, who's fighting through blocks. He's going to keep going. He breaks off of one defender, bounces off of another. Dre Allen takes it to the house.
35 yards. Dre Allen just, you can't stop him right now.
Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling
right.
Football. Dre Allen will not be denied. If you do not wrap that man up, you are not bringing him down.
No, he very easily could have been tackled for about a 2-yard gain and turned it into a 35-yard touchdown run.
And the kick is good. You know, I'd love to see the overall, like the yearly statistic for him on yards after contact, because I feel like he'll get bumped like 1 or 2 yards into the run, and then he just refuses to go down the majority of the time. And he's really been stepping it up here in the second half early.
Yeah, we were talking about that at pregame, and here's that play again, and
they had him wrapped up early.
Yeah, I mean, he was turned sideways like he was going to be tackled, and then this little thing here where he just like, ugh, he's like playing dodgeball there, you know, just. It's like when you're out playing backyard football with someone, you know, in your neighborhood, or your
playing
little brother or something
way.
like that, and they're trying to, and you're just fast enough to just bend away from them, and that's what it looked like.
While we got a moment, let's take a word from one of our sponsors.
Determining whether you need emergency care or not requires special training. The next time you visit an urgent care, ask if your doctor is board certified in emergency medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rana Matthias Monceau. I'm board certified in emergency medicine, and I'm trained to recognize when a condition may require more than just an urgent care evaluation. I believe in treating each patient individually, not just as another number. Health Matters Urgent Care. Better medicine, exceptional care. Barton Boulevard, next to the Bel Air Plaza.
We line up for our First People's Community Federal Credit Union kickoff. Also want to thank Health Matters Urgent Care for their sponsorship for Kaiser High School football. As Seth Ernest lines for our kick. He will take it deep, collect it in around the 9-yard line. And Perez trying to run behind his blockers, but eventually brought down about the 26.
The Kaiser defense just needs to come out here and keep up the intensity they had off the previous drive where they stalled out and then caused an interception. Don't take the foot off the gas, that's for sure. It's only the third quarter.
Kaiser with a 4-down lineman set against a spread look. Ball's going to be dropped, and it will be recovered by Kaiser.
So we've got 2 Petersburg drives in a row have been stymied by turnovers, one through the air and one on the ground. And
the handoff is bobbled, and Vito Amoruso will pick it up off the ground and take the possession back for Kaiser.
And it looked like Day had the ball. I don't know if he was trying to switch hands or what. It just looked like he just dropped it, like it suddenly got really hot.
Who drops back. He's going to heave it deep to Emmerich, who catches it.
Looked like he turned and went over the pylon, but I think they're going to call him out.
They're going to call Emmerich out at the 1-yard line.
The 1-inch line. It really looked like he turned when he caught that and went over top of the pylon. And
Damian Emmerich thought for sure that that was a touchdown for him.
If we had replay, that would probably be a touchdown, but we do not.
Well, I mean, we do.
We do, but I mean, high school football does not.
We'll see here if they punch it in. Hand off to Dre Allen, who just takes it in. Touchdown, Golden Tornado. Dre Allen on a 1-yard carry.
Finally got his touchdown tonight. I'm surprised we haven't yelled his name that many times.
He took the contact, and the defender still kept trying to tackle him even after whistle blew, and he just held the ball out there like a statue.
Yeah.
And fell down with it. As Seth Ernest lines up for the extra point kick. Kaiser has really blown up here in the second half. Kick is up and good. Let's try to look at see if we can get the replay for that touchdown grab by Emmerich.
Almost.
Well, almost touchdown grab by Emmerich.
We think it was a touchdown, but
we'll see what we got whenever we can get it up. Yeah, because it looked like he was able to stretch it out over the pylon, at least from our angle up here in the booth.
Yeah.
But, I mean, eyes on the field. We don't have those, so we'll see what we got here. Root really delayed throwing this thing. He took a shot there at the end. And Emmerich catches it. Oh, yeah. I feel like that was a missed call.
I think
there.
It would have been, yeah. But, it's okay. They scored one play later. I'm sure that
he has that ball reached out across the pylon.
But I think, the only bad thing about that play is Emmerich didn't get to celebrate the touchdown. Dre Allen did a play later, but, it was a good catch. It was a really good catch.
Damian's going to go home tonight and be like, Mom, I got robbed.
Yeah, that's right.
But the score will put Kaiser up 55-26 with 1:18 left here in the third. Reminder to everyone that our third quarter sponsor is Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den. Big thank you to Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den for not only sponsoring our broadcast, but for being a sponsor for all Kaiser High School athletics. Use code Kaiser Football online to save 10% tonight. As we get ready to line up here for the ensuing kickoff, Seth Ernest will line up. We'll kick it back to Perez, who's going to try to bounce it out wide to the left side, and finally wrangled around the 30.
We started off this game and pregame and early on talking about how similar Petersburg was to Jefferson that we saw last week, and we saw a lot of similarities in the game plan and the game style and the progress of the game. And what we've seen, same as last week, is Kaiser just kind of took over the ball game late, mid-second half.
Snap back, ball will be handed off, and then brought down in the backfield will be Day. Loss of about 4. Vito Amoruso.
I think I kind of see what happened with that fumble on the last play where Day dropped it. Whenever they do that sort of
read option,
he holds his hands back to shield the ball and then has to pull his hands up. And I think when he did that, he just
maybe bumped an elbow. You never know.
He just dropped the ball.
Yeah, ball security is one of them tough things whenever you're running a read option because it's very hard. That time, William Van Meter.
I was thinking they might try to throw the ball there with Van Meter back in there, the southpaw that threw the long touchdown pass.
Van Meter listed as a wide receiver, but playing quarterback right now. Petersburg's got a couple younger guys out as well. Got number 7, Kason Rogers. Number 14, Maximus White. Out of receiver. And as we end the third quarter here, I don't know which coach that is there in the red hat, but they got to put him in a uniform because he has some wheels running down the sideline there.
He has been fired up since that 12-man on the field no call, and ever since then he has been out there smacking helmets and chest bumping and really getting this team fired up. And the team has been very motivated, and I think you were talking about that earlier when you were talking about the coaching change and everything. And the students, the players, just they feed off of that enthusiasm that's coming from the coaches, and you can see that the coaches are right there and feeding off that same emotion.
I believe the one in the red hat might be Coach Corey Shoemaker, or possibly Jarrell Ross. Not sure with the mask being able to read who's who.
Right.
All I know is that the white hat is Coach Stevens.
And I can tell you the orange hat is, I think, Coach Steckman.
Yes, I believe so.
Known him since he was a little kid, so I kind of recognize him.
Petersburg in a shotgun set. Van Meer going to throw a little screen out.
Oh.
And will be wrapped up and brought down by the ankle.
First we really called Benny Oates' name on defense. He's been bottled up in pass coverage out there. And honestly, if you're in pass coverage and your name's not getting called, that means you're defending your guy pretty well and they're not throwing at you.
Yeah, if you're a corner or safety and your name's being called a lot, it's either going to be for making plays or getting plays against you.
Right,
so.
Right.
Snap back, punt is up. And Kaiser doesn't really bring anybody back. They're just going to let it be tapped down. As it bounces there around the 30, we're going to roll back to about the 26.
So we have about 203 people watching on YouTube right now and another 147 on Facebook. Thank you all for watching the broadcast tonight. We've had a fun game.
Scores around. Frankfurt beats North Marion 36-19, and Jefferson comes back to beat Washington. And Sammy Bradfield making a couple men miss and finally wrapped up and brought down from behind. Sammy Bradfield with about a 26-yard run, I believe. 26-yard run. Kaiser will take over around the 50. Hand off to Van Pelt out wide. And he will be wrapped up and brought down after no gain.
It's a good job for Day there to sort of stay with his blocker and come off and sort of surprise the running back. He made a good cut, but Day was right there to get him.
Rue going to roll out to his right side. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run upfield. Makes one man miss. Oh, and he manages to wrap him up from behind as he goes down. It's going to be a first down carry for Gavin Root.
Yeah, once Gavin puts his mind to it and says, I'm going to run this ball, he changes into a different player.
Run of about 14 for Gavin Root there. Brings a man in motion. He's going to drop back. He's going to keep it. He's going to roll out to his left side, and he's going to dump it off outside, and it's going to be complete.
He had to check down all of his receivers. He looked down the field first, and he was able to dump it off and get a couple yards out of that.
4-yard catch for Hunter Van Pelt. And looks like we have a Petersburg player down. Maybe cramping
up, yeah. Can't really see a number.
We have a player down with an injury. While we got a moment, if you have an injury, contact our good people at Health Matters Urgent Care. They will take care of all your immediate health needs. If you also need a flu shot, I believe you were talking about how they have a real nice service of, kind of drive in.
Yeah, you just go up, you give them a call, they come out, get your information, and you just wait in your car until they call you back, and, very minimal contact, so you can wear your mask when you go in, but very good at the social distancing and making it expeditious to visit them.
And the player.
Day was the player that was down.
Day will get up and make his way over to the sideline. As Gavin Root comes over with the offense on this second down play call. 2nd and 6.
Only a couple yards there for Dre.
Dre Allen gains about 2 on the carry.
One of the few times tonight we've seen him actually get tackled by the guy that initially made contact with him.
We're going to roll out, and he's going to throw it out to Sammy Bradfield. Technically, I guess that would be a run for Sammy, since it was he threw it to him behind him, so that technically be considered a pitch.
It's just sort of a different style of almost an option, but it's an overhand toss,
shovel pitch type deal. Handoff's going to be to Dre Allen. Allen will gain maybe 1.5 on the play.
Kaiser can take their time here. They usually run a pretty quick offense, but they just need to run the clock out.
Quick screen over to Anthony Mealy. Mealy takes the screen and gets the first down.
Yeah, he made a good catch on that. It was a little bit of a off throw, but he made a good catch, and he turned around and realized he had a lot of green in front of him to try and cover. And
Mealy tried to get it across, but wasn't able to. So Kaiser will just take it in here now. Allen takes in the 1-yard carry for the touchdown.
I think Emmerich and Mealy are going to talk to each other and say, man, we both had some good receptions here, and then Dre gets to follow up and get the touchdown.
Great plays, both taken down to the 1-yard line. Kaiser decided to just punch her in. Now Seth Ernest lines up for the extra point. Kick is up and good.
That takes
With
us,
8:36 here in the fourth quarter, Kaiser stretching out the lead.
8:36 remaining.
does take us over the 35-point rule. So we will have some running clock on the field. It will only stop for timeouts, change of possessions, and injuries. Once Petersburg receives this kickoff, that'll start.
Also want to thank the good people at the Belt Group for powering our broadcast and for providing the generator for our production bus. None of this would be possible without the Belt Group. Thank you for everything you do and for sponsoring Kaiser High School football. And our good friends George and Margaret sending out their message of their own. I got to talk to Mr. George not too long ago. He made the joke that he played back when it was the leather helmet days.
Oh, yeah.
As we get ready to line up here for the kick. Kaiser maintaining a pretty strong lead now. Held Petersburg to only one score here in the second half on that deep passing play. Seth Ernest decides to kick it down to the 30. It's dropped and then picked back up. And the return man is brought down around 36.
What we've seen from Kaiser, they you don't want to say they're a second half team, so to speak, because they played a great first half as well. But I think what we've seen is maybe the conditioning and just the program itself is shining at why they're as successful as they are. Not seeing Kaiser guys laying around with cramps and stumbling around and being tired and just taking over once the second half rolls around.
Back is Van Meter. Going to have a little bit of pressure. He's going to try to throw it up deep. And it is dropped.
Seth Healy saying, whew. He overran the receiver.
Didn't get his head around to look for the ball until it was basically there. Intended for, I believe, Case and Rogers on that one. William Van Meter back as a quarterback once again. I think Cody Newsom's day might be done. Handoff is going to be to the back Day, who has a good bit of space out to the sideline.
Day has been running good. He cramped up a little bit on the last defensive series, but he's been pretty consistent running the ball for Petersburg.
Van Meter going to line up in shotgun. Day to his left. He's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself. Ball comes loose.
Took a weird backwards bounce, and the Kaiser defender couldn't switch gears fast enough to get back to it.
Recovered by Aiden Lott.
And number 22 is down, and
Parker Anderson.
When Parker turned to go for the ball, I think he made some helmet contact. He might give himself a little bit of a stinger or something. Possibly even when he dove for the ball, he knocked the wind out of himself too. He stretched completely out, and
yeah, he immediately dropped and was still about 3 yards away from the ball. Was unable to get to it. Aiden Lott then drops.
Right.
As all the players are taking a knee while Anderson gets looked at. We got the training staff here for Kaiser out on the field with him.
Looks like they're moving his arms and
while we're dealing with the injury here, let's take a moment for a quick break.
Buying an automobile isn't supposed to be hard. Hi, I'm Fred Timbrook Jr., and at Timbrook Automotive, we make car buying easy. When you buy from us, you can expect your experience to be transparent and stress-free. For your convenience, we have locations in Cumberland, Oakland, and Kaiser, which means you can get the finest cars at the lowest prices close to home. Visit us today at any of our locations to experience the Timbrook difference, or shop online at timbrook.com.
And Parker Anderson able to get off to the sideline. Looked like they were moving his shoulder. Looked like he had a little bit of a shoulder injury there, but was able to get back to his feet. Get back over to the sideline here. Handoff's going to be number 21, Tyler Seville. Does a little hurdle, but still gets dropped for the loss.
don't have his height and weight listed here, but not a real big guy.
Yeah, he's a shorter back, more a little scat back.
Kind of like a Darren Sproles or something like
Yeah.
that.
Tariq Cohen.
Right.
Van Meter back in shotgun with one back to his right side, three receivers out wide. And Seville coming back out into the slot. Handoff's going to be to Day, who is then dropped for no gain.
He almost ran that like a counter, but I don't.
Malin Cook on the tackle there.
Kaiser pretty much just sealed up the middle there for wherever he wanted to go, and he tried to cut back, and wasn't any place to go on the other side either.
And looks like Petersburg's going to line up in punt formation here on 4th and 12. Kaiser not bringing anyone back into coverage. Just going to let the ball be tapped down wherever it may land. Low snap is collected. Kick is up. And we'll take a Petersburg bounce. And we'll be tapped down around the 8-yard line.
Probably see some clean shirts coming in here. Not that they get that dirty on the artificial turf out there, but I think we'll see some of the second teamers come in.
Young fellas for Kaiser making their way. Get some well-earned reps.
Seth Healy's coming in at quarterback.
And it looks like we will have an offsides penalty against Petersburg. And handoff on the play. Anthony Mealy will gain about 3 or 4. We look at 2nd and 1 now.
Barring any injuries or timeouts, the next 3.5 minutes will probably go by pretty quickly because of the running clock rule, the mercy rule.
Handoff to the fullback up the middle. It's number 21, Landon Rhodes, who had a good bit of space.
Nice run.
14-yard gain on the play by Landon Rhodes. Landon Rhodes isn't a very big guy either. He's listed at 5'4", 145 pounds, but he runs strong for the size.
Petersburg wants to talk about what they're going to do.
Maybe they had a personnel issue or
Yeah,
something
probably,
there.
Yeah. They might be looking to sub some guys in too as well on defense and get them out there. And
want to remind everyone that this drive for this Kaiser second team offense is brought to you by the Timbrook Automotive Group. And if you're interested in buying a car today, contact Timbrook Automotive and see what they got in their inventory for you.
also want to thank the Wheelhouse Academy for the scoreboard integration. Very cool looking scoreboard and information on your screen there. So thanks to those guys, thanks to the Coldwells.
Handoff on the jet out wide is going to be Seth Signs, who is hit out of bounds on the play by number 25, Logan Thorne. And looks like there's going to be a penalty against Kaiser. That'll back him up. So the good run by Seth Signs will be nullified by the penalty.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's one of those holding penalties that didn't need to happen because it was behind the play. The play had already gone to the outside, and
it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Seth Healy going to be under center. Hand off to number 24, Chase Evans.
running hard.
Gain of 12 on the play.
He's had a good game on defense as well, Chase has.
Second down. And Anthony Mealy taking the contact and gaining a couple more yards out of it. Gain of 8 on the play for Anthony Mealy. We line up for this 3rd and 3.
Kaiser going back and just sort of sticking with their wing T roots now.
Kaiser just going to let the clock run as much as they can. We wind down. Bring a man in motion. Handoff up the middle is Chase Evans, who will get the first down. And we got enough for about maybe one more play here.
Yeah, they're going to have to, there's about a 6-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. They might even just go into V formation and take a knee here and run the clock out.
Also want to remind everyone that we have our video downloads available for sale. 100% of the proceedings go to the Kaiser High School Booster Club. Go to www.alleganymedia.com/Kaiser to make your purchases and download all of our content for our football games. And with that, the Kaiser Golden Tornado will beat the Petersburg Vikings 62-26 after a second half explosion for Kaiser, getting some quality turnovers and capitalizing big time.
Yeah, we talked about, the big play and how Kaiser would need to capitalize on that. And we weren't just talking about the big play like the 70-yard passing plays and stuff. We were talking about the big plays like interceptions, causing fumbles, and capitalizing when there was mistakes, and did an excellent job.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Matt. I don't know how many people are still watching, with the clock at 0 and everything. But for anybody that is watching, I just want to say how much of a great opportunity this has been for all of us with Allegany Media for doing these games for Kaiser High School. And big thank you to Allegany Media for giving me and Matt the opportunity to be up here. So I just want to run through our whole crew. I want to thank Katie and Ryan Brenneman for running our entire production, Mr. James Bohr for being our main cam operator, Mr. Robert Bauer for being our sideline cam, Mr. Vic Clay for being our stat man up here in the booth, and then, of course, Mr. Matt Shipway. I'm Chris Welch. We thank you all so much for being a part of this year. Hope you all have a wonderful night. Kaiser Pride.